Hello everyone, Yolanda here from CraftySentiments.com, and today's video I want to show you how to do an alternative card for the paper pumpkin kit. You may have some leftovers depending on how you put your kit together, but I decided to use some of the colors that inspired the kit, and as opposed to using some of the leftovers. I did use a little piece of the baker's twine, but really I'm showcasing the I can put this away. I'm showcasing the stamp set, because one of the great things when you have subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, you always get a stamp set that's yours to keep, and you can do lots of other different projects with it besides what are in the instructions that are in the kit. So really think about going back and getting your stamp sets out and playing with them and see what you can come up with. So I'm going to set that aside and we'll get started. So I have some glitter enamel dots, so I'm going to use some of those. I have dimensionals. I have Old Olive, Cajun Craze, and Crushed Curry for my inks. Bone folder. I have the 1.5, is it one? Yeah, 1.5 inch circle punch, and some cardstock, which is in Very Vanilla and Old Olive, and some scissors. So let's go ahead and get started, so we can put some of these things away. It's going to be a little bit of stamping today. So, excuse me. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the sentiment, so I can move some of this stuff out of the way. I'm going to stamp the sentiment on this scrap piece of cardstock. It says, "Keep calm and be thankful," and that's all I'm going to use that stamp set for. And I'm going to cut that out with the 1.5 inch circle punch. Okay, and I can put that away, and that's garbage. And I want to outline it a little bit with some color, so I'm just going to roll it in the ink pad, and then I'm going to set that aside. Be careful so you don't get any on your hands. I'm going to set this aside, but basically it kind of outlines the edges without sponging. So the next thing that I'm going to do, while I have that color open, I want to stamp. I have a 1 inch by a 5 1/4 inch piece of Old Olive cardstock, and I'm going to do like some background stamping, because you know I like to do background stamping. It's great because it gives the card some color and texture, and it's great. Whoa! Let's try not to drop things, shall we? It's good because if you don't have any pattern paper, you can make your own, and it's not that hard. And I do a lot of stamping off because you just don't need to have the whole image on there. So that's all I'm going to do for that one. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to set the card base aside. Again, it's Old Olive, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to set that aside for a moment. I do have an envelope that I'm going to be using, so I'm going to set that aside as well. Now for this piece of Very Vanilla, which is 5 1/4 by 4, I'm going to do some more background stamping. And this time I'm going to use all the colors that I have, which is the Cajun Craze, Crushed Curry, and Old Olive. So I think I will start with this one first. And again, it's background stamping, and so I'm going to be stamping off, because I don't really want a whole full image. I guess I could do one, but I kind of don't really want a full image. I just want the just a little bit there. And that's all of the crushed curry that I'm going to use. So I'm going to clean the stamp pad. And then I'm going to go to the Old Olive. You know what? For the Old Olive, I'll give it a full stamp. And that'll be it for that one. And then I'm going to go to the Cajun Craze. And then I'm going to stamp the background. Just give it a little bit of color here and there. Make sure you have a background paper, because you see how messy it's becoming. No, I think I want the front part on this one. And just a little bit. So I'm going to set that aside. I am through with that one as well. And I'm going to set this aside for a moment. Now the last thing that I'm going to do, I have a piece of Very Vanilla, which is 3 by 3, a piece of Old Olive, which is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and another piece of Very Vanilla, which is 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. And I'm going to sponge some colors on here. And let me get, I cut up, we have our sponges, and I just cut this in little small pieces. Don't need a lot. So the first one I'm going to do, the large one, I'm just going to sponge it, the edges all around, and the Cajun Craze, just to give it some color. Set that aside. The next one, I'm just going to do tone on tone for this one. So this is the Old Olive on Old Olive. It kind of just deepens the edges up a little bit. And it doesn't have to be neat, because sponging is never really neat. We just want to give it some color and depth and dimension on the edges. And so we're through with that one. And then the last one is the crushed curry, and we're going to do the same thing. All around. There, and we're through with that. Now we can not set that aside, because we're still going to do some more stamping. So I have another stamp set which says thank you, and this is from the same set. And I'm going to be doing some again, like background stamping, background color stamping all over, so it doesn't have to be neat. Just turn your paper around, turn the stamp around, stamp on, stamp off, and then you go to the next color. However you want to do it. And oopsie, I'll clean that off. And then we'll do the Cajun Craze. Just wherever, however. It doesn't matter if it kind of goes over. You just want some color around it. I think that's enough. So I'll put that aside. Now we are through with all of our stamping, so we can close these up and move them out of the way. And we can start putting some elements together. So these are going to line up. I'm going to layer up on here. And this is going to layer on top. And our sentiment that we had, keep calm and be thankful, we are going to pop that up on a dimensional. As soon as I figure out what I did with my dimensionals. We just need one. Put one in the middle. And I'm going to set that in the middle and set that aside for a second. Here's our card base. We're going to and burnish it. And we are going to layer this on top. Let's see, which way do I want it? That way? That way? I think I want it this way. There we go. Set that aside. And so the 1-inch piece, we're going to take some, we're going to wrap this around here. Now to get this one on here, I think I used a little bit of tearing tape. You can use your fast fuse, but I have to refill it and I don't have it refilled. So I'm just going to use a small piece of tearing tape on the edge. And this is basically to hold the twine down. There we go. A piece on both sides. Oop, that's a little bit too big. And that's the good thing about it, because you can tear it wherever you need it. You can be neat about it and use your scissors, but I don't. So we're going to take the backing off. If I can get the backing. And then we're just going to wrap it around there twice. And stick it back in the tape. This is a little longer than I need. Oops. Make sure it's stuck down good. And if you want, you can put another piece on top just to make sure it stays down. And I probably will do that. Let me adjust it a little bit. I want this over just a little bit. I'm going to put another piece on here. Just because. So yes, make sure that you get your paper pumpkin stamp sets out and use those for all the different holidays and just to send cards out. We don't send many cards out like we used to. So I'm going to set this, move that out of the way, right in the center. Like so. And for this, I'm going to put some dimensionals on all 4 corners. And we'll take that off. It's a good thing I had scratch paper down, because look at them. Look at my craft there. Look at my area. Dirty, dirty, dirty. And then we're just going to set it down. I'm going a little bit towards the top. Like that. And then the last thing we're going to do is take the enamel dots. Oop. If I can open it. We'll take the glitter dots. And we are going to just use a few colors. They kind of coordinate because there's a yellow in there. And, excuse me. So I'm going to take a yellow. And you can put it wherever. I'm just going to use 3 of these. And then one of the green ones. I want it up at the top. You can place them wherever you would like. And that's it for that. But I think I want to do on the envelope, I'm going to stamp the leaf. So I'm going to do that in the old olive. So I'm going to have 1 up, 2, and 3. And there you go. A quick and easy card to use. Let me move it over here. A quick and easy cards for you to create using the stamp sets from your paper pumpkin kit. Here's the one I did earlier, and there you have it. really quick and easy. And again, use those stamp sets up because we bought them. We might as well go ahead and use them. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is Yolanda from CraftySentiments.com, and as always, give it a thumbs up if you like the video, share it out, and please subscribe. Hit the little subscribe button and click the little bell so you'll be notified of videos as they become available. So have a great day, and I'll be back real soon with some more videos. Thanks, and bye-bye.